and this is so important. There's a lesson in this for all of us. Mm-hmm. Don't have conversations with people until you have defined your terms. Yes. When someone says, do you believe in God? Please do not answer that until you have any idea what they think God is. Or you will be having a conversation that has zero meaning whatsoever. And so it's the same thing here, right? Narcissism is used in a million different ways, right? All the way back to who was it? The narcissist that looked in the water and saw his own reflection. That's where the term came from, right? And then it's used different in Freudian analytics than it's used in the pop culture. It's used different in spiritual community. So I'm defining it in a certain way. And most of the quote-unquote narcissism that I teach around is the narcissism that has crept into the postmodern pathology. And that is sourced from, in spiral dynamics, we would call red for the color coding, but the power egocentric stage of development. Because as it went from archaic to magic to power to mythic to rational to postmodern, these also are generally egocentric, ethnocentric, world-centric, universal-centric in perspective taking. And at the red power meme, the egocentric stage cannot take the perspective of another. And postmodernity, having become very pathological in its inability to integrate its healthy modernist values that we talked about on the call, and its healthy traditional values and structure and discipline and accountability. Without having those two things, the egocentric stage is not kept in check, and it rises up into postmodernity, and we virtue signal these lofty cultural postmodern codes, and we are doing it from very ego-centered, narcissistic, simply wanting to get our ways. And that's the narcissism that I'm talking about in the spoiled little brat that's wreaking havoc in postmodern values that it hasn't really accomplished or evolved to. But we can grab the code, the value code that we're exposed to. We can grab that and use it for our own devices, even if we haven't really evolved to it. And that I've come to believe is one of the biggest problems that we have facing our evolution as a species, as a Western culture right now, is the ability to capture postmodern code without having inherently, healthily evolved into postmodern consciousness. And using that code to our own devices to make ourselves special, to make ourselves seen, and it's just narcissism playing out, weaponizing postmodern code and postmodern values. Yes. And it's a really big problem.